Frustration is mounting and anger is growing with the liberals and passive politicians. Learn the playbook of those who are trying to destroy our country from the blue-collar professor. He teaches, he leads, he speaks out for truth and justice. Now, the educator of all things conservative, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
The leader in talk radio on the internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry, or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your website, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely. Let's get started again.
Hey, welcome to it. It is the Friday edition of the program where we continue to take the left to school, exposing them for who and what they really are, all while arming the hardworking people of this country, like you and me, with the knowledge we need to hold our elected officials accountable. But fear not. Unlike those leftist professors out in academia, you will find no safe zones here. Why? Because we believe in the First Amendment. It is Friday already, and it's time to close this week out. But fear not, if you would like some more of the program, we have the live offering coming up tomorrow night, just as we do every Saturday night on News and Information KLIF 570 AM here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's at 8 p.m. Central. But if you do not live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you can still be a part of the live program. ConservativeRadioNetwork.com. Ron and his guys over at ICRN are kind enough to carry that broadcast live so that wherever you are, you can be a part of the program. You can call in, voice your opinion. It's the one time in the week that we are able to interact with our listeners. I want to jump right into it because there is a great deal of information to cover. I want to touch on this whole Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump women's issue situation. And we followed along pretty closely as the New York Times and others, Megyn Kelly at one point, have all attacked Donald Trump for the way he treats women, saying that the New York Times claimed there were unwanted sexual advances by many people, that he's loose with his words, quickly to hurl insults at these women, calling them pigs and bimbos and so on and so forth. And a lot of that may be true. He may not be the most tactful guy, but you can never take a shot at him for not saying what he thinks. You don't leave a conversation with Donald Trump wondering, gee, I wonder how he felt. Because he tells you immediately. And there is a situation where, and we'll talk about the others in a second, but there's a situation where a former beauty contestant came out and he said, he called me a pig, said I had an eating problem, and it led to years of this disorder I had of eating improperly, and I buried myself in food. Well, is that a causal relationship? Did Donald Trump make her eat that, or was he just right? And I'm not trying to be insensitive if you have an eating disorder. That's not it at all. But maybe he was just right. And he called it, and he said it when nobody else should. If someone has an eating problem, they need to be made aware of it. Just like they have an alcohol problem, they need to be made aware of it. If they have a drug problem, they need to be made aware of it. You can't fix what you don't know is a problem. Now, am I saying that Donald Trump did this the best way possible? Absolutely not. You don't call somebody a pig with an eating disorder. Where's your bedside manner, guy? But that's not what we're talking about. That's the worst thing they could dig up, because the New York Times went after all these people, took these interviews and published this article saying, he's a womanizer. He's asking women to change in front of him. There's unwanted sexual advances everywhere. But when these people get interviewed and then the New York Times publishes their piece, they come out and say, wait, hold on. That's not what I said at all. In fact, none of that ever happened. The insinuation that it's in this article, it never happened. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I never saw Donald Trump mistreat a woman. I never saw Donald Trump make unwanted sexual advances. My time with Donald Trump when we dated was great. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about Donald Trump. But the left keeps attacking. They're trying to find a chink in the armor because there's no playbook for Donald Trump. He's not a politician. You can't go after his record. He doesn't care if he's not tactful. He doesn't care if the left comes after him for that reason. The playbook is out the window, and so they're struggling to find something, and they launch these hit pieces. They don't work. They don't work at all. But what's happened here is by taking these shots at Donald Trump, it has opened the door to Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton's past when it comes to women. And that's not pretty. And it's been proven. Now, one of the words that Donald Trump has used a couple times is Bill Clinton's rape allegations. And he'll say, I don't know if it's true, but that's what I'm hearing. Rape is a serious word. It's an incredibly serious word. You don't throw that word around. It is a serious, serious offense. And anybody that forces themselves on a woman that is not consensual is wrong and should be treated so accordingly. But in that same breath, anybody that cries rape, and it didn't happen because somebody's embarrassed or their feelings are hurt, to me, that is equally as serious. And I don't want to sugarcoat my words here. Rape could not be more wrong. But the accusation of rape when it didn't happen is equally wrong in my book. Both ruin lives. And so for Donald Trump to come out and say rape, he better have something to back that up. He better be right. And it just so happens he is. A lady by the name of Juanita Broderick, who volunteered for the Clinton campaign when he was running for governor of Arkansas, has made the accusation that Bill Clinton raped her. Now, the Clinton's lawyer came out and called these claims absolutely false. But it was never adjudicated. It was never taken to court. The claim didn't come out until 21 years after the alleged rape. Now, a lot of people on the other side would say, well, why did it take so long? If this is true, she should have reported it immediately. Shame on her. It's all a hoax. It's all a spin to take down the Clintons. Well, it's not always that simple. When you are a victim of sexual assault, there are times where these victims feel like it may have been their fault, all or part of it. Now that's unjust, that's not fair, it's not right, but sometimes that's how they feel. Is that they may have contributed to this somehow. They may have deserved it, and that's not right. In addition to that, there's this level of shame, embarrassment, and that's unjust as well, but there's still real emotions. There's still things they deal with. And then you add to it the fact that Bill Clinton was governor of Arkansas and then president of the United States. That's an incredibly powerful man. And if you're going to go after a powerful man like that, you better win. Because if you do not, one, he simply may be above the law. And that's a sad truth in this country. There are people above the law. Bill and Hillary Clinton certainly feel like they're above the law, don't they? There's no question about that. But what about the repercussions from such a powerful guy? What happens there? And so it's not until 21 years later does this Broderick feel comfortable enough in saying, look, this happened. Now, whether it did or didn't, I don't know. I wasn't there. It hasn't been adjudicated. We don't know. But it's very possible because this isn't the only accusation. We all know the name Paula Jones. She sued Clinton for sexual harassment when she was working as a clerk there in the government in Arkansas somewhere. She might have been on at the Capitol. She might have actually been in Bill Clinton's office. I don't know exactly where she worked. That's not important. The point is that she made the comment and she sued and said, look, I was harassed by this guy. Now, the case was dismissed, but not until after the Clintons paid her off a substantial amount of money. Well north of $500,000. Closer to $750,000. So there's Paula Jones. And then we all know about the situation with Monica Lewinsky. And there are others. There are others out there claiming these things. I'm just bringing a couple to light. Monica Lewinsky, an intern there at the White House. We all know about the stained blue dress. We know about the cigar situation. And Bill Clinton was almost revered as a hero in the public opinion. It wasn't a big deal then. The only thing that got him in trouble was lying under oath. That's it. There was no other issue that got him in trouble other than lying under oath, and it was that lying under oath about the whole situation that ended up getting him impeached. But he has a history here. He has a history of extramarital affairs. He has a history of taking advantage of young women. He has a history of accusations, and I want to underscore accusations, of women coming out and saying, look, there are unwanted advances here. There's harassment here. There are rape allegations here. Now, all of that is true until you get to what the women are saying for both Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. The women are saying this happened with Bill Clinton. The women on Donald Trump's side are actually coming out and saying, no, it's false. It's 100% false. Donald Trump's a stand-up guy. There's a difference there. Now, here's the kink in the hose. Bill Clinton's not running for office. Hillary Clinton is. But the problem is Hillary Clinton has hitched her wagon to Bill because Hillary's not likable. For whatever reason, Bill is. Hillary can't win this unless she sells her and Bill as a tandem pair. And she started to do that. She said, look, we co-opted the presidency when Bill was in office. And we're going to do it again. I'm going to put him in charge of the economy. You get Bill with Hillary, whether we want him or not. Now, how does this affect the presidency? Well, one, you're going to let a guy like that back into the White House. But two, some of the most egregious claims in this whole situation are coming out. And they're saying that, look, it wasn't even so much the event. It wasn't the unwanted advances or the little fling we had. But what Hillary did after that to cover it up and suppress these women. The claims are incredible. That she would go out of her way to shut these women up. And so Hillary's been labeled this enabler, this person who you've seen the movies, the cleaner. After something goes down, the cleaner comes in and fixes it, whatever that may mean, bumping somebody off, getting rid of evidence, whatever the case may be. Hillary Clinton's a cleaner. Well, she had an opportunity this past week to come out and fix this whole situation, to address these accusations made by Donald Trump, and she punted. She absolutely punted. They said, look, here's your chance. Speak out. No, I'm going to deal with Donald Trump on the issues. I'm not even going to mention anything about him bringing up these rape allegations against my husband. We're going to deal with the issues. She had her opportunity to set the record straight, and she punted. Ladies and gentlemen, when you do not address an accusation as big as this head on, It will fester, it will grow, and if you think Donald Trump's going to let this go, you're dead wrong. But let's run the hypothetical out for a second that this is true. What is the only thing that Hillary Clinton has left, if you look at it objectively, for her to hang her hat on? She was a botched Secretary of State, and we can prove that over and over again. She's going to advance Barack Obama's policies and extend them and extrapolate them into 4 more years. The only thing she has left is to be a champion for women. The minorities have even turned their back on her. And now she won't even denounce the rape allegation. She won't denounce her husband's actions. How do women honestly saddle up and say, you know what, she'll be good for us? It is to a point right now in this race, the only reason somebody casts a vote for Hillary Clinton is so they can say they voted for the first woman president. That's it. They want to be a part of, quote, history. Now, I'm not saying that's good, bad, or indifferent, but I don't know how you come to any other conclusion. Now, let's step back 7.5 years when people did that for Barack Obama. How did that work out? How did electing the first black president work out? And it has nothing to do with him being black. Sometimes it has nothing to do with your race, religion, creed, color. Sometimes an idiot is just an idiot. It just so happens that the first viable candidate for president that happened to be an African American also happened to be an idiot. It's pure coincidence. But how did electing the first black president, this guy, not somebody else, this guy, how did that work out for us? I'm willing to bet a lot of us on the other side of the radio are wishing we could rewind the clock just a little bit.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity, lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessory store. Stop in and visit with brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 5 days a week, Wednesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or trike to sell? Let Twisted Roads Trading Post be the place to go. Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Sewing, embroidery, and T-shirt printing services are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit twistedroadstradingpost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Let's get back to the program. If you're sick of the garbage that comes out of Washington, D.C., then it's time to arm yourself with knowledge from the Blue Collar Professor. Here's your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
Hey, if you're out there on Twitter, give us a follow at The GM Show. Also, if you're looking for the show on demand, perhaps you can't catch it at 5 p.m. Central on the conservativeradionetwork.com. K98 Talk or the 405 Media, High Plains Radio, or Sackheads Radio Media. Man, that list is getting long. Thanks to those guys for including us in their lineup. It means the world to us. But if you can't catch us on those times, you can catch us on demands. iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, and Google Play as well. And keep in mind, we're still after those Spreaker followers. Special thanks to all of you who have done that. It would mean the world to us. But those are ways you can get a hold of the show. Now, we have talked, and you and I have talked a great deal in length about the whole Iran deal and just how shady it is through and through. But one of the things that was very important to me was the fact that Iran took our sailors at gunpoint, kidnapped them, took pictures of them on their knees at gunpoint, and spread them all over the world, embarrassing us. And our only response was from this administration, Secretary of State John Kerry, saying thank you. Thank you for returning our sailors. Now, there have been briefings come out to members of Congress that apparently we don't know half of what went on there. And one congressman said, when we find out, and it may be a year or so, we're going to be disgusted at our response. But at the time, I made the claim that this is incredibly important because of what it signals to the entire country, the entire world, rather. People are going to see this as a sign of weakness that we let Iran of all people, push us around. And sure enough, not a week later, we have the Russian jets buzzing a destroyer at dangerously close intervals. They were below the bridge deck. They got within 30 yards, I believe, at one point. And what did we do? Shame on you, Russia. Shame on you. But it was a signal that we're weak. And then Russia taunts us and we don't respond and we're weak. And what is the world seeing when that happens? Well, if you think I'm mistaken, this past Wednesday, a U.S. defense official told CNN that the Chinese fighter jets intercepted an American reconnaissance aircraft over the South China Sea, and this happened on Tuesday. The official described the Chinese pilot's behavior as unsafe. He said that the American pilot was forced to descend in order to avoid colliding with the planes. That's how close they were. So here we are in a situation where Iran embarrasses us. We say, thank you very much. And Russia sees that. And what do? They start mocking us. And now we have this situation in the South China Sea where China is advancing into international waters. They're building these artificial islands out there, and they're militarizing them. They're putting runways, they're stocking it with military personnel, military equipment, jets, things like that. And they're claiming it as their own. They've just decided to occupy this area and claim it as their own. Well, we've made the stance that no, that's international water, and you can't do that. Well, so as we're flying around this area, they scramble a couple fighter jets, and they get so close that the pilot has to descend to keep from running into them mid-air. China can now be added to the list of countries who have stepped over the line in a military manner, and we don't respond at all. Now, am I saying a war with Russia or a war with China is something we want? No, it's not something we want. But if the whole situation in Iran never happens, we don't have this conflict. They don't think that we're pushovers. This president has made a laughingstock of this country. Now, Senator Chris Murphy, he's a Democrat, but he's right to a degree. Quote, what the Chinese and the Russians are trying to do is provoke us into some type of action that will feed into their domestic narratives, both in China and in Russia. That's true. Because in Russia and China, they're telling their people that we're bad guys, we're imperialists, we're going to try to take over the world, their way of life is in danger, so on and so forth. They criminalize us. They criminalize our way of life. They criminalize the fact that we're big brother. Somebody starts picking on somebody they shouldn't, we step in. And they have struck this tone of fear through their people that it's just a matter of time before we go after them. Now, if this were Reagan's administration and those sailors were captured, what are the results? I don't know if we have a definitive answer, but I think it's more than a thank you. If Russia buzzes a destroyer with fighter jets, what is the response? I don't think it's more than a shame on you. And if China pulls this, what are the results if Reagan is in office? None of this. This president is weak. He's embarrassing. He is embarrassing to this country. He stands for something it seems none of us stand for. What happened to walking softly but carrying a big stick? He's whittled his big stick down to a twig. There is no giant military out there to defend us. And maybe that's why he's cowering down, because he knows we're outgunned and we're outmanned, because he has cut this military to a degree that is embarrassing. These are serious issues. This is more than a couple pilots just playing tag up in the air. This is posturing. This is China and Russia and Iran saying, we're not afraid of you. We know who and what you are right now, and we're going to take advantage of that. Now, somebody please explain to me how that's in the best interest of this country. It's not. Now, ministers and officials out of Beijing commented on this. It needs to be pointed out that American aircraft have constantly entered China's coastal waters conducting reconnaissance, which has posed a serious threat to China's maritime and air safety. We hereby ask the U.S. immediately to stop these actions so as to avoid the recurrence of such incidents. Beijing also insisted that those pilots kept a safe distance throughout the encounter without taking any dangerous actions. Well, of course, that's what they're going to say. But you have to understand this infringement on their coastal territory is all about these foreign islands, these artificial islands. And we just let this stuff happen. Nobody is afraid of the United States anymore. And I'm not saying you rule in fear. We're not interested in ruling the world. Not even close. But these world powers are no longer thinking we're a serious threat. We're even a concern. They're willing to mock us. And it's all this president's fault. He will go down as the worst president in the history of the world. Period. End of sentence. I didn't say country. I said the world. And there have been some bad ones. Now, am I saying he's up there with Stalin and Hitler? No. But when it comes to democratically elected presidents, you'd be hard-pressed to find a bigger disgrace than this guy. He's done absolutely nothing to make America better. Nothing. At all. Ever. And here he is. He's going into the final drive of his presidency, and he wants to score. Who knows what he's going to pull out of the hat next? Let's just hope that China and Russia don't decide to do something stupid and we still have a country for him to ruin for, 6-7 more months. That's what we have to hope for, because they're dangerous situations. They really are. Hey, coming up next, Joe Biden has opened his mouth. And anytime Joe Biden opens his mouth, it's funny and it makes for some news. Let's talk about that next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Are you tired of making payments to a security company that doesn't seem to have the same values as you and doesn't offer the most recent technology? American Defense Systems is a veteran-owned and operated security company specializing in home security and automation solutions to fit your lifestyle while keeping small business owners more connected to work while on the go. American Defense Systems makes practical recommendations for families to keep your home safe without trying to sell you a bunch of extra stuff. And for businesses, American Defense Systems wants to provide you with the comfort of knowing that your business is safe by allowing you the monitoring options you need without loading you up with too many extras. American Defense Systems' goal is to provide your home or business with an affordable and technically superior security and automation system. If you're not happy with your current security system or provider, set up a no-cost consultation today at AmericanDefenseSystems.com. That's AmericanDefenseSystems.com. American Defense Systems, proud to be a veteran-owned company.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the Tax Doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Do you believe in conservative politics, common sense issues, and the U.S. Constitution? So does Matt Locke. Who is Matt Locke? Well, Matt's just a guy that believes, like many of you, that our country is headed in the wrong direction. If you feel the same, then go to Matt's new website, themattlockshow.com. Matt is a friend of the Gavin Mitchell Show, and he's a conservative podcaster and talk show host who will shoot you straight and provide information that is important to the conservative listener. You'll hear political commentary, news, and he'll discuss the current issues that will affect you during this election season. Listen to Matt's daily podcast anytime on his website at themattlockshow.com, spelled MATTLOCKE, or find his show on Spreaker.com and TuneIn.com. He's also syndicated on ICRN, the internet's new conservative radio network. Join Matt and his guest on the Matt Locke Show daily at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific on conservativeradionetwork.com, or listen to any of his 400 archive shows at any time on themattlockshow.com. The Matt Locke Show, all things conservative politics.
The following message is brought to you by Health Markets, your first choice when you need health insurance for your small business. Do you offer health insurance to your employees? Call us now and see if you can save money. Do you want to offer vision and dental to your employees? Call us. Do you think you're paying too much for your current health insurance? Call us. Do you want somebody else to do all the legwork and search thousands of health plans from over 180 health insurance companies nationwide? Call us. We're Health Markets, and thanks to a little-known solution, we could help your business save thousands of dollars on health insurance costs and save your employees money, too. Our service is free. Don't miss the great savings. Call now.
800-470-8021. 800-470-8021. 800-470-8021. That's 800-470-8021.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is DBA of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., licensed in all states. Product availability varies.
Hey, liberals, try rooting for your own country for a change. Our blue-collar educator of all things common sense does. Now, back to the Gavin Mitchell Show.
This guy never ceases to amaze me. Joe Biden is giving a speech to the National Urban League's Legislative Policy Conference. And he makes a couple statements in here that are worth mentioning. If Joe Biden opens his mouth, it's good for comedy. You can guarantee that. It's good for a laugh. But the fact that the President of the United States says anything that's worth mentioning means that he's either done something really stupid or really bold and probably overstepped his bounds. So in this speech, he admits, quote, "I've never been gainfully employed in my life. I don't know what I'm going to do." And he's referring to after this election happens and the new president is sworn in and the administration changes, he's going to be looking for a job. He's never been gainfully employed in his life. Quote, "I have never cashed a paycheck in my entire life. You think I'm joking? I'm not." Well, I don't think he's joking. I don't think he's joking at all. And that's part of the problem with these politicians. And this just isn't applicable to the left. This is applicable to both sides. These career politicians come up in well-to-do families, so they don't have to work growing up. They go to the best schools, and then they jump into politics. They don't get real-life experience. They don't understand what it's like to go to work. They don't understand what it's like for the blue-collar community, where if it rains for a week, you don't get paid for a week. They don't understand that you've got to work to get paid. But yet these people seem to have all the answers on how to fix the economy and make life better for us. It's a joke. Bernie Sanders says he didn't have a job till he was 40. Now Joe Biden says he's never really had a job at all. It doesn't surprise me, but these are the people we put into office. It's disgusting. He actually got offended and made a remark on it that last campaign when our guy Paul Ryan said that he worked in a McDonald's and had dreams. He commented, "Like I worked there and didn't have dreams." Biden said before he admitted that he never worked at McDonald's because he's never had a real job. I don't care if you flip burgers. I don't care if you sweep floors. I don't care what you do. Having a real job is important. It's important to everybody but this guy, it seems. He goes on to criticize institutional racism that still exists in the country, making it harder for people to succeed. He mentions that there is this situation, this hypothetical situation where a young mom who's living in the ghetto and may be strung out. In fact, I'll read the quote to you. "I'm serious. Think about it. Not a joke. Think about it. Have you ever known a mother in a tough neighborhood that didn't have a dream for their kid to go to college in their heart? Even though she dropped out of school in 4th grade, or she may be strung out," right? Because that's what every poor person is. They dropped out of school and they're strung out. These people, they just never cease to amaze. They never cease to amaze. Now, on his comment on institutional racism, quote, "No one wants to say that. I know sometimes speak out too loudly sometimes, but I make no apologies for it. No, it's not a joke. I make no apologies for it. Sometimes the things that fall out of your mouth, Mr. Vice President, make no sense at all. Sometimes the things that fall out of your mouth leave all of us scratching our heads saying, you can't be serious." Now, on a different note, pardon me, Hampton-Sydney College, this is a Virginia all-male college, had a retired Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin contracted there teaching. He's been there 9 years teaching leadership and ethics. They chose not to renew his contract. Why did they choose not to renew his contract? Because Boykin said in a gathering of conservatives, he made the comment, "The first man that goes into the restroom with my daughter will not have to worry about surgery." Well, this got everybody fired up, and they decided not to renew his contract. Well, 6 hours after that hit the press, they decided to renew his contract. Boykin commented, "The situation has been a great reminder of how our First Amendment principles are worth standing up for and defending." But of course, he gave the appropriate comment. Hampton-Sydney College is a fine school with a proud history of young men who have led our country, and I'm honored to be a part of shaping the next generation of leaders. I would like to thank the leadership of Hampton-Sydney College for their courage they have demonstrated in reversing their decision and allowing me to remain part of the community. They weren't going to renew his contract because of a joke. It just underscores, ladies and gentlemen, this problem we have with the left. They're all for the First Amendment until you don't agree with them. And then if you say something out of turn, like Kurt Schilling, you get fired. But if he would have been pro-abortion, they would have applauded him. This guy makes an off-the-cuff joke to a bunch of conservatives. Nobody there was offended, but just the fact he was associated with the university meant that they weren't going to renew his contract. Now, they say it was a factor, but it wasn't the determining factor. Garbage. Complete garbage. That's the environment we live in. The article goes on to talk about that conservatives don't understand the power. If we'll unite and just act peacefully, don't be an idiot. Don't be like the Black Lives Matter group, but act peacefully. Just stop going to Target if we don't agree with it. Or stand up for your First Amendment rights. And it may cost you a little something. You may have to lose the battle to win the war. But there's incredible power in that. And things can move. And this guy credits getting his contract renewed to all the readers of Fox News who sent emails and made calls to the college saying you're out of line. He believes that was a turning point. And so there's a lot of things to take away from that story, and one of them is that if we unite and we do it carefully, if we're calculated, if we're deliberate in our actions and we do it peacefully, we can make change. We can beat these idiots that are out there stomping on our flag and causing violence. Hey, coming up next, I want to talk about some workplace issues that disturbed a lot of people, but I think you're going to be surprised which side I land on. Hang tight.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size. And this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year-round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
If you happen to drive by the studios during a commercial break and you see a guy on the roof waving an American flag, that's our blue-collar doctor of common sense. And now here he is, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
I'm sure many of you have seen this. The Home Depot cashier that put on the hat titled, well, the writing on the hat was, America was never great. This was a Home Depot clerk in Staten Island. Her name was Crystal Lake, and she was caught wearing this hat, America was never great. And a picture was taken and put on social media, and it spread like wildfire. It was out of control. She's gotten death threats. And to nobody's surprise, she is a supporter of Bernie Sanders. Well, what do you expect? She said, I wanted to send a message. I wanted to show people, no, hey, it never was that great. She claimed it was more of a statement against Donald Trump than an indictment of America, even though her previous quote refutes that directly. Now, Home Depot has said, look, company associates are not allowed to wear anything with a political statement. Unfortunately, no one on our management team saw her before she put it on and went out there. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been allowed to wear it. Now, here's where I weigh in on this. This is another one of those issues where Home Depot has a code of conduct. They have policies. You have to follow them if you work there. It's an agreement. So if their policy is that you can't wear things like that, then you can't wear things like that. But let's just assume for a moment that it is. America never was that great, is what her hat says. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, ma'am. I disagree. But are the death threats necessary? Is that something we want to do? Is that something we want to be a part of? No, not even close. This young lady, no matter how deranged, how ignorant she is, has a right to be wrong. That doesn't mean we attack her. That doesn't mean we threaten her. We just let her be an idiot. There's nothing more to this. I disagree adamantly. You know I disagree adamantly. I know you disagree adamantly. It's offensive to me. But it's protected speech. And if we didn't allow people like this to make stupid statements like that, to embarrass themselves in the greatest country in the history of the world, to sit there and say America never was that great, I don't know how you get to that conclusion. I just don't understand it. But if we don't allow her to make that statement, then we no longer get to go to church and worship God. We no longer get to criticize the president and speak out and try to make change. We don't get to do any of that. Because somebody is going to be in charge of deciding what's okay and what's not. And just based on our recent history of public officials, how successful do you think we'll be in choosing that person? We won't. Not even close. And so while I'm disgusted at what the message is, I'm still for free speech. Now, if Home Depot won't allow political rhetoric on anything they wear, that's fine, whatever. But if they did, so what? Let her be an idiot. She'll wake up one of these days. One of these days she'll wake up. Now, in a similar story, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, there is a custard shop called Leon's Frozen Custard. And in Leo's Frozen Custard shop, they have a policy that you can only speak English. Well, on Tuesday, Joey Sanchez walked in to get him some custard, and he overheard a conversation between an employee and a Spanish-speaking customer. And he said, she whispered to him in Spanish, "I'm not allowed to speak to you in Spanish." So when he came up, she knew she spoke Spanish, so he ordered in Spanish. And she told him the same thing, "I'm not allowed to talk to you in Spanish." It is a policy of Leon's Frozen Custard to only speak English in the shop. The employees are only allowed to speak English. The individuals are only allowed to speak English. It's English only. And he claims that in 59 years of business, him and his wife has never turned away a customer. His wife's Hispanic. He just believes that in America, you should speak English. If they start accommodating all these other languages, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a train wreck. Now, this is what I'm going to say. I don't necessarily agree with it. Even if on the slim shot that all he's turning away is tourists, I don't agree with it. Yes, I believe you should learn the language and the culture, but it takes time. I've been dropped into another country for work for 6 months. No language training, no culture training, and it's hard. It's hard to acclimate, but you learn quickly. But you're not going to be perfect in 6 months. You're not going to be perfect in a year. I think what we want is people to try. That's what we're after, is effort. Now, if he wants to be foolish enough to cut off every Spanish-speaking customer and not serve them, every German-speaking customer, every French-speaking customer, every Japanese-speaking customer, that's his business. This is the United States of America. You can serve who you want to. Now, I'm telling you from a business position, that may not be the best move. Now, I don't know what the Hispanic population is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't know if there's Germans. I don't know if there's French, Chinese. I don't know. I don't know what the major rival language to English would be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've actually never been to Milwaukee. But if he wants to cut off potential revenue, let him do it. And if you disagree, don't go to Leon's Frozen Custard. If you agree, patronize the shop. This is America. I don't understand why this even hit the news wire. It makes no sense to me. I understand why the lady's hat did, because it was a play off Trump's hat, so on and so forth. But part of this, and the only thing I have ever screamed through this microphone, is stop illegal immigration. If you do it legally, you're welcome. We're a country of immigrants. Now, I do believe if you're hiring, you should hire an American citizen first, as opposed to bringing somebody over to work through the HB1 visa program. But hire who you want, as long as they're American, as long as they're legal. I'm okay with that to a degree. But all I've ever screamed on this show is stop illegal immigration, and I've given you the reasons why. With legal immigration, there is an acclimation period. It takes time to learn the ways, to learn the food, to understand the holidays, to understand the work schedule, to understand our leisure activities, to learn the language. It does take time. And so I don't know if I'm for this personally, but what I am saying is here in these United States of America, a private business should be able to turn away any business they want to, and then let capitalism take over. Let the free markets take over. If, like Target, word gets out and people don't agree, then you don't shop there. If people agree, you shop there. Let businesses live and die with the policies they make. Same thing with Leon's Frozen Custard. He doesn't want to serve Spanish-speaking customers, so be it. Folks, believe it or not, that is the end of the week already. We are out of time. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central, KLIF and Conservative Radio Network. Until then, in the words of the great Ray Wiley Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, I have really good days. Have yourself a great day.
Thanks for listening to The Gavin Mitchell Show, the Blue Collar Professor, produced in Fort Worth, Texas. If you like what you just heard, subscribe on iTunes and Spreaker.com. These and other links can be found on our website at thegavinmitchellshow.com. Be sure to tell your friends and colleagues about the Blue Collar Professor's daily podcast. Join us again next time as we take the liberals to school. All opinions expressed by the host or guests on this series are solely their opinions and do not reflect the views, policies, or positions of the Gavin Mitchell Show or its affiliates. This has been a Ron Phillips Pinnacle Broadcast Holdings production.